Hi, and we're back into it now. We're back into the second part of the conspiracy hour. We were into overtime there. Yeah, something came up. We had to do a bolt there, and we were compromised. We had to do a runner, so we're back in it. And here's a message out to all the Sevco fans out there. You're always on my mind. I'm totally obsessed. Yes, I'm coming clean. I'm obsessed with Sevco and the demise of them. It's made me so happy in 2012 laughing at them. They would have been obsessed if it was the other way about, and I couldn't care what label they prescribed to me, because they're brain dead zombies, the majority of them. They're just half-wits. So here you go. Shove your head up your chuff. You're always on my mind.
Quite as good as I should. Maybe I don't love you quite as often as I could. Little things I should have said and done, I never took the time. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. Maybe I never told you all those lonely, lonely times. And I guess I never told you I'm so happy that you're mine. If I made you feel second best, I'm so sorry I was blind. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. Tell me that your sweet love hasn't died. One more chance to keep you satisfied, satisfied. Little things I should have said and done, I never took the time. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. Tell me that your sweet love hasn't died. One more chance to keep you satisfied. You were always on my mind. 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 You were
You're
always on
always
my
on my
mind.
mind.
You were always on my mind.
Cause your team is shit and division free.
Maybe I didn't treat you
I didn't treat you
quite as good as I
quite
should.
as bad as I should have done. I guess I should have been tougher
Quite as
on
often
your
as I
mental
could.
thinking ass.
Maybe I didn't hold you all those lonely, lonely times. I guess I never told you I'm so happy that you're
I'm
mine.
so happy that you know. There you go, Billy Noel. If only I could sing, brother. If only I could sing, I would challenge you. I can make up the lyrics almost as good as you, but not quite. I certainly can't sing, brother. Give me some digital fucking recording stuff or something like that and help me out. Anybody digitalise my voice so that it sounds like Victoria Beckham here? If that dafty can sing, then I'm the Bishop of Cork. Get me into some of that. Oh, Victoria Beckham, you're having a giraffe, ain't you? Right, I'm Hank Marvin. Was I doing a show the other day? Hank Marvin, aye, I think it was. I'm in the same position again. Again. And this time the rolls are getting delivered, but the shop's not open yet. Because I'm always out my mind. Tripping out my dial on the Rangers. Because the Rangers went bust. Right, so we were talking there prior to the news that Jim Davidson has been arrested outside Ibrox. Jim Davidson outside Ibrox has been arrested. Allegedly, he had the title deeds to the shite house. He was caught wiping his arse with the title deeds that he stole. Anyway, I don't mean to make light of it, because if a dirty bastard is done, if he's a dirty wronging, and he's a dirty fucking wronging, get him to fuck. Anyway, I don't want to sully my show with shots bestial bastards, Freemasonic bestial bastards. I will carry on with the synopsis that the Rothschild banking cabal sorry, I said illegitimize. I meant illegitimize these Masonic illegitimize. Do apologies going out there to all the crackpots. Tell 10 to tell 10. And while I pulled the plug on the show there, I had a little phone call from a withheld number. So, withheld number, if you have cojones, if you've got a set of balls, we have a wonderful platform here. Phone me, don't be shy, give it a try. There's a nice number for brain dead zombies. We've got your exclusive new line, because I realised it was a stumbling block having to dial anything with a 67 and a 1888. And since I'm mad crackpot Mad Tommy, as Imran Ahmed coined me, and I'll use Daft Zombies have coined me, I realise that it's better to have a number for you dafties to phone that you would like to phone. A number for you to store in your wee phone book. Next to your wee drug dealers and your benefits hotline, put number 3, Thomas J. Clark. 0203 290 1690. There you go. Pick up the dial. William, Billy, son of William, Prince King Billy of Oranjeboom. Pick up the phone and call me, because obviously only a brain dead zombie would phone at 3:45 or 20 to 5, in the morning with a withheld number, because he's still waiting on his balls to drop. So come on, brain dead zombie. 0203 290 1690. There we go. 1690, the year Seamus O'Cha-Cha, Shitty James, did a runner. But let bygones be bygones. Let's move on 323 years. Whoosh! Into the future. Leave all that tribal nonsense into the bygone days. Be gone with you, daft zombies. Be gone with you. We don't want your nonsense no more. Right. So we're talking about Diana, how she was killed. And John F. Kennedy, how he was killed. So where Diana's killed, in the Alma Tunnel, there's the Eternal Flame. It was on Avenue of New York. And on that night, the MI6 paparazzi photographer filed pictures in the press agency in Paris, probably soon after it. And these were pictures that I saw on my TV screen. Unfortunately, I did not record it, There was no Sky Plus at the time, but I know for a fact, as night follows day, that I was shown pictures on my TV screen of a dying Diana. When I got home, we were denied entry to the nightclubs about the back of 12, but we didn't mind that because we already had a few drinks. This was it 97? Yeah, September 97. My daughter was born in 96, so yeah, a year, less than a year. First time out on the Swally in a year from a good lady. And we didn't get in, so we came back, and the breaking news was there'd been a crash. And as I said, I had the papers there from that night, introducing the good name of Diana from the news of the screws. And the picture I seen on the TV of Diana was she was alive, distressed, but a still picture. And it made sense to me now when I listened to that documentary. This is why I mentioned it just now for public record to be out there. That on that night, as I sat there coming back in on the 1st of September in the early hours watching the footage on the newly installed Sky that I had, I think it was BBC News or Sky News, I was jumping in between both of them. And you know, in their haste to put pictures of news out there, really we should be getting, somebody should be recording every news, anytime anything major happens, get it recorded. If anybody out there listening to it can record anything major that happens, record it and send it to me to store, I would be deeply, deeply appreciative of it, if it's possible. Just a little bit of silence here brought to us by our friends in the Noise Abatement Society. Diana, when she was killed, as I believe that she was, the pictures that I saw that day was a person who was injured, but yeah, they said there was internal bleeding. Could she have been saved, or was the long journey, the excessive time it took to take her to the hospital, could that have resulted in her dying? All this evidence could be held into an investigation if we had access to it, couldn't it? But her body was embalmed. Okay, what does that mean? It means that any evidence of her being pregnant or anything else, malpractice or anything else, it can't be done. All investigation is stopped instantly the moment a body is embalmed. I state categorically here in this show, don't embalm my body, don't burn it, I want it buried under the ground in a shroud. The shroud, if anybody's going over to Turin, can you pick me up a shroud in Turin? Pick me up a shroud in Turin, people, when you're there. I'll pay for it. Any excess weight on the baggage for a good shroud for a 6'2" mad crackpot internet bampot. Find me a shroud and I'll pay for the package and postage and or baggage allowance. Right? Can't say fairer than that. So we're cracking on with the show and we're talking about how Diana was killed. Because let's change the narrative. Best way to kill someone, car accident. Diana said that was how they would intend to do it. She was given evidence. In that film, it also stated that she had a liaison, a sexual liaison, with one of her MI5, MI6 handlers. And he was killed. How do you call it? What do they call it? They call it toxic assets. So when you become an asset that becomes so toxic that you have to be neutralised, liquidised, and that's what they do. They will stop at nothing to silence you. They're a criminal organisation. They're the biggest gangsters on the planet. The biggest evil-doing, terrorist, psychopathic control grid fanatics. Like politics, blood-sucking animals. It's time for the people of the world to wake up, unite, and destroy this illusion of capitalism, to destroy this illusion of the Rothschild banking cabal. How do we do it? We don't buy into their system. Like the clarion call I've been putting for weeks and weeks, don't buy into Radio Snide, because it's owned by Bauer Media. Mayor Amschel Bauer changed his name from Bauer to Rothschild. So we are fighting a fight against Radio Snide, otherwise known as Bauer, otherwise known as the Rothschild banking cabal. So the Rothschild banking cabal sits there as a Masonic cabal using the Scottish Rite doctrine of Masonic eschatology, where you walk in to the clergy in the front door. It's a Masonic temple. So all the brethren referees who walk through there know that they should always side with their fellow brethren. So should we be surprised when a referee should side with his fellow brethren, Stuart McCall, and allow his team of knuckle draggers to kick Celtic players up in the air, risking injury? Just as well Scott Brown was kept out of the way to stop him getting embroiled with knuckle draggers who would have targeted his ankle and his leg. Yes, well played Neil Lennon for that one. And some crackpots say he's not got the nous, or maybe it was just a fluke that Brown didn't play. But from all accounts, they were kicking Celtic players up in the air like there was no tomorrow. But you'll never hear that in the media. You'll never hear that in the busted flush Radio Snide. No. But so this is what we have to do. Build our own media, build our own platforms, build our own shows. If you're a crackpot, listen to me. Don't just sit there listening to a crackpot like me. Do it yourself. We want to hear you. Hello, get your fingers out. Come on. That's it. Be good internet bampots. Do your own show. It doesn't have to be all talking like a flannel juice gibberish fangita like me. Do something different. Put some tunes out there. Anyway, my number for you to call 01414161888. They say, don't bother calling me. I'll sit here talking flannel juice and gibberish. I have a message that I'm trying to put out. And it's cool. You can also contact me on 012544567. You can also contact me if you're a brain dead half-wit zombie. 0203 290 1690. Come ahead, you yellow belly chicken. Even if it is to just shout abuse at me. Come ahead. Come ahead, brain dead zombies. Listen to the silence. Silence means compliance. You know I'm doing a show. I've got a show out here, and you're just sitting back there bricking it. Brain dead zombies, canny phone. Hide your number. It will dial through. You phoned me while I was off air. Oh, diddums. Have you not got the balls to phone brain dead zombie? Hello? Brain dead zombie who withheld a number. Phone. Nah, it's alright. Don't bother. I like proper debate, stimulating debate. And we get that all the time on here. Many good people have phoned in. And let's see who's on the chat there. Ryan. It's meant to be shooting stars just before dawn. Heard it in 5 Len. Has to be a clear sky. That cloud coverage, no clear sky here. Glasgow's fecked. Glasgow's out of the water. Till 10 to till 10. It's not happening in Glasgow. Right. Oh, is that refreshing? Oh no, I didn't mean to do this. No, why have I done it? Just go bump the rolls. I don't do bumping. Is that better now? You getting my show now? We go to it, Stevie boy. Did you get it there? Stephen. Can't sleep, so I'm going to give Tommy Glasgow a listen. Wired to the feckin' moon, but souls whose intentions are good. Michael Conway. You know, brother, I'm giving that a retweet, and that's one of my most favourite retweets of all time. Yes, I don't mind being damned by faint praise. In fact, I love it. That encapsulates both half. I'm a mad bastard. And somebody's told me a bit of nonsense to pass on. And live show going out, crackpot to crackpot, el mano to mano. Everybody get along to the chapel, the capo de capo, the chapel of chapels. It's in Abercrombie Street. It's called St Mary's Chapel. It's just a stone's throw away from Brigton Cross. So any brain dead zombies, go in there and give yourself a treat of a religious experience of a lifetime. Convert yourself over. We all know you want to be associated with a successful team. So us as Celtic fans, welcome into our parish, converts of the blue persuasion. Join us and hail, because we know you want success. Success by any means necessary. So join the Tin Pot Army. That should be the call. Hey, take this off. Down on the crackpot. Melbourne, so phone the Melbourne show on 0390. Sorry for that little bit of silence. It's a noise abatement society. Tune in here. I don't know if I'm going to get this in. Right, so we want to put it in this small case. So we're going to Glasgow radio.blogspot.co.uk. So we copy some of that out. How does people use their Twitters? What do you do when you do your Twitters? I put it in. If I go too many over, then I look for ways of clamping it down, cutting it out, cutting it down, merging the numbers in with the letters. Tune in here. Let's see. Glasgow Radio.blogspot. That's where the show page is. Live show going out to capture down under crackpot internet Bamport Market. Call show Melbourne 03 or tune in here. There we go. Tell 10 to tell 10. Tell 10 to tell 10. Oh no, if I put this in, I've not got that page up. If I put it here, tell me I've got the banner. Is the banner still up? I'm directing people to here, and the banner isn't up. Tell me the banner's up here. Please tell me it's going live on this one. Or else I need to direct everybody to the Spreaker page. Is it up? Can I see? Come on. It's up, it's up. Right, close it before it starts setting it off. Close, close, close. So we're talking about Diana, how she was killed by a Masonic cabal. We're talking about how John F. Kennedy was killed by a Masonic cabal. We're talking about how the SFAs are ruled and controlled by a Masonic cabal. The head of this Masonic cabal is the Rothschild banking cabal. So we're given names here. Mayor Amschel Bauer. Right, Bauer Media owns Clyde. So Clyde are controlled by the Rothschild banking cabal. The Masonic cabal that sits in Scotland controls Scottish football. The York Rights, sitting in New York Avenue in Paris with the Eternal Flame, with an MI6 spook who was a journalist in the Fiat Uno, who mysteriously died himself. It's all tying into one thing, that this reptilian gang of brain-dead, zombified aliens who have taken over the planet, have taken over Scottish football. And if you all believe all this, you should all be sectioned like me. Is that all what you saying? The swallow? Yeah, section me, crazy. Yeah, if I'm fully certifiable, that's good, bring it on. That's because you can't debate or argue anything I'm saying, because it's the truth, Roof. Deny it if you want, who cares? You can cover yourself in the cloak, in the shroud of secrecy, with your little lodge meetings, and you can get away with it for decades, with Masonic handshakes, Masonic rituals. Now the truth has been outed, you cannot hide it. Good brothers have written books, e-books that you can download tonight. Paul Larkins, By Any Means Necessary. A referee wearing Rangers socks underneath his refereeing uniform. Referees been allowed to ask for referees, been allowed to referee their last game because it coincided with their favourite Rangers player Ian Durrant's last game. And that was a week before Celtic won against Dunfermline in 1998. But hey, it's alright, I'm a paranoid Celtic fan. But at least I'm not a brain-dead zombie psychopath who's been deluded. Let's see, what have we got here? Brazenhead 1967, Big Fraser's penalty save yesterday was top draw. What a signing, probably the best GK that has ever signed for Celtic. Yes, I believe he's the best GK as goalkeeper. It's a little bit of silence I brought to our friends in the Noise Abatement Society. I'm hitting a brick wall here. I'm getting keen crackered as we speak. We had to stop that last show there, so this show is coming to an end soon because I'm dying on my feet here. I need to, in fact, why am I even, I've not, that's what I should do. I'll just recline the seat back, shut the eyes a wee bit, dim off the lights, chillax to the backs here. We're on the Mellow Birds. It's now 5:10 in the morning, and we're explaining the tie-in with the Masonic cabal, the Rothschild banking cabal, Scottish football, the death of Princess Diana, and the death of John Fitzgerald Kennedy. So going back to the Kennedy conspiracy now, because this is a conspiracy show. We did a show there for an hour and a bit, and now we're finishing off here explaining the full tie-in, finishing off why we should sack Clyde because it's part of the Rothschild banking cabal. Yes, you better believe it. Radio Scotland have been shouting out my name again. Tam Cowan, they'll want to talk to me. Come ahead then, Fanjitas at Radio Scotland. I'm sitting here awaiting your call. I take on all comers. I'll phone everybody. I care not as yet. I'll talk to anybody. Come on down. Don't be shy. Give it a try. Thomas J. Clark from Celtic Community Radio. Calling the planet. You're all fruitcakes. If I'm cripped out my dial, crackpot, Trumpetville McDougall, if I should be fully certifiable, and each and every one of you dafties out there listening to me or not should be on the same bus as me. Yeah, 6 billion people, fully certifiable. As long as we're all getting food, that's what I'm calling. If we're all going to the nut house, supply us with food, Rothschild banking cabal. We're not asking for much, right? We don't want genetically modified garbage. We just want a wee few grains of rice, a wee morsel of chicken or meat, a few peas and a bit of water. Is that too much to ask for 6 billion people? Do you have to sit there with palaces, land of plenty, or your tarts and parties and cocaine-filled orgies? Your bestial sexual deprivation acts of bestial acts against children? No, we're not going to stomach for that pish, so you better stop that with your cover-ups with your friends at the BBC and Sir Jimmy Savile. No, we want fairness, justice and equality. No more of your bankrupt nonsense. No more of your bullshit bankrupt ideology. Do you hear us, Nathaniel Rothschild, Amchel Bauer, Crackpot McDougall? This is a Thomas J. Clark, signer of the Declaration family, signer of the Declaration of Ireland, the first name in the proclamation. Thomas J. Clark, we are his ancestors, we are his children. We are here saying, not in our name will you sign the death warrant of millions of children. 50,000 people die each day, 30,000 of them children, through the effects of the World Bank and IMF, through the banking cabal, through illnesses and diseases that are treatable with medicines that we make available here, innocent diseases where we don't afford them the drugs or fresh clean water. 2 billion people live in less than $1 a day. And the people who run this system, is it Osama bin Laden and his crew? Is it Islamic fundamentalists? Is it Irish nationalism, Irish republicanism that sits there on the top of the World Bank, bankrupting whole swathes of the planet into servitude, eternal servitude? Debt slavery exists with your national insurance number, and you ensure that their grip on society remains by your inability to start your own radio stations and tell the world about your viewpoints and connect with others and make a democratic system work, not one that is a falsehood and set up by liars and deceivers and people out to manipulate and control your thoughts. Turn off the TV and do something more boring instead. Listen to a crackpot, tell 10 to tell 10, interact with your fellow human beings like you've never interacted previously with. Because if you don't interact and you don't do your bit to save humanity, then these psychopathic nihilists who are out to destroy all of humanity, we must say, not in our name. We must sign the first declaration and rush to be first to sign the declaration of saying not in our name. Boycott, protest, organise and call for the demise of an insane, unjust, corrupt banking cabal system. where less than 1% benefit greatly and the majority suffer. Not in my name. Anyway, I'm out of here. I mean, throw sugar into a coffee and wake yourselves up with a mellow birds. Because I'm away to go and not rob this roll shop, but I'm away in to partake in a wee feast of a roll and butter and a coffee, and just stretch my legs a wee bit. And go to bed, I just have a plain roll, I like a plain roll. Anybody had a plain roll? Plain rolls with nothing in it are just gorgeous. Who likes a crispy? Medium crispy? Or Father Crispy? Who was Father Crispy? Supposedly Adolf Hitler. But that's one for another conspiracy show. We'll do a whole conspiracy show on Father Crispy at another stage. Just now, I'm just happy to be delighted to expose who really killed John F. Kennedy. Who killed him? The Dulles brothers, John and Allen Dulles. With a cover-up with their friends in the FBI, George W. Bush's father was a whole key part in the whole. He was the butcher of Basra, Road to Basra, the butcher, where the war crimes were committed by that illegitimate. Sorry for saying babas, I don't want to swear. Because it debases you as a human being. I don't want to debase you all by listening to me swearing like a trooper. I don't suffer for Tourette's. I self-inflict myself with it, but I try hard not to. And I'm so indebted to a good brother for his constructive criticism to help me raise the bar and raise the level. That we are better than the sum parts of being brain-dead, bigoted zombies. We are more than the sum parts of hating that other club. And that's from the old Tommy Burns. God rest his cotton socks. God rest his soul. And they ran in those wee socks up and down the wing in front of the jungle. It was a joy to behold, whipping in the ball, having shots with his left foot, taking on the opposition. And it only seems like a little whippersnapper like myself, it only seems like yesterday that Tommy Burns was twisting and turning his way around Celtic Park. And who forgets that final leap into the melee after we had put Moscow to the sword? With Aidy McGeady looking on going, what's the Bulgine up to now? Sadly taken away months after that. Cancer, the amount of money wasted by governments and pharmaceutical companies into not the prevention but just the management of illnesses, the management. This has to be looked at, and this will be done on another show. Drugs and illnesses and how we treat it, and how the capitalist system views people as being just a number, and the number, the bottom line, is all about profit. How the capitalist system and how the multinational drugs companies took the South African government to court for producing its own antiretroviral drugs for people suffering from HIV because it couldn't afford the inflated market price of patented drugs that were given a patent and as such could charge whatever they wanted because they owned that drug. Even though that drug would help people, if the country could not afford the prices to these multinational drug cartels, then they wouldn't be allowed to give these drugs to their people. Now, there was an epidemic of AIDS in South Africa. Millions, hundreds of thousands of people were dying, hundreds on a daily basis. and these drugs were out there and they could have helped alleviate some of the suffering and pain and stop so many deaths happening at such a rapid rate. So the South African government couldn't afford the drugs, but then because they knew the blueprint of how to make it, they decided to produce it itself so they could do it at a cheap cost. But at this point, the world's drug companies, the drugs cabal, the Rothschild banking cabalist drugs cartel end of it, stepped in and says, no, you can't produce these antiretroviral drugs and other drugs that they wanted to help out, give its populace. As AIDS ravaged Africa. There's another conspiracy altogether about how that was started in that part of Africa and how certain hotspots of AIDS erupted and how you can tie that in with the smallpox vaccination programs all over Africa in the 80s. Yes, sorry. Look how it's all tied in. So these drugs companies took the South African government to court and says you can't produce these drugs, and they won. 39 of the top drugs companies in the world successfully stopped South Africa producing its own antiretroviral drugs and other drugs. Stopped them producing them. It's highly surprising from a sick society that produces a seed that does not self-replicate. Yes, the food market, the food chain now makes seeds in the genetically modified garbage. They now make seeds that do not produce another seed, that they have to go back to the market to buy it. How sick is that? Yes, thanks for joining us, Thomas J. Clark. Celtic Community Radio. This is an internet BAMPOT production. Radical Pacifist. We're media jamming here. We're media jamming across the USA, across Canada, across New Zealand, Australia, and every single country across the planet. Tell 10 to tell 10, we're taking on the Rothschild banking cabal, Power Media, Radio Clyde. In a peaceful way, we're telling people to desist from listening to such tripe, listening to like-minded individuals who want to try and change society and the system to save it for a better future for our children and our children's children. It doesn't have to be this way. We just have to be like Plato's analogy of the caveman, where the little caveman breaks free of his chains and gets out the cave and sees the big beautiful world with the birds, the bees, the trees, the moon, the stars, the plants, the smells, the scents, the food, the different people. And he runs back to the cave saying, wow, Jerry, look what I just seen. And he tells him everything. It's brilliant. Come on, I'll take these chains off and we'll run out and we'll go and enjoy it together. But then the negative soup-taking Uncle Tims, the brain-dead zombies, the gatekeepers turned round and said, no, don't listen to him. He's crazy. He's paranoid. He's an internet bampot who believes in little green men. He's away with the fairies. Don't listen to Is that the time? Did the school? I was going to say the school start back, and I was looking at the time. So 26 minutes past 5. So little Plato's caveman analogy continues here, crackpot McDougall style. So the gatekeepers say to all the brain dead zombies, don't listen to him, he's mad. It doesn't exist. This is the only existence it is. Chained up slaves smashing our brains into the ground to make little pieces of rocks. Don't be those brain-dead zombies smashing your head into the ground to make useless material gains that you can't take with you when you're going to the most vital place. But hey, this is a Crackpot production. I'm delighted to say that I'm away with the fairies. Crackpot McDougall Styley, trying to expose the Masonic cabal that is destroying planet Earth. Masonic cabal that is destroying planet Earth, and the world has to be told about it. And I couldn't care what label or what is put against a fangeeter like me. Cause I'm wired to the moon, tripped out my dial, and I couldn't give a flying bag of shite at the moon. Yes, happy to be off your nut on your own wee, on your wee own wee thing, me. So yes, everybody, friends, family, and foe alike, you can't get me for a wee bobby, cause I'm on a different sphere, I'm on a different plateau, I'm wired to the moon with flannel juice and gibberish. GIRFUI, you can't catch me. And the Rangers will never catch the Celtic, want to know? How can they ever catch us with their miserly 0 titles? They're gone, they're finished, kaput. To be a Tim in Plato's Little Caveman. To be a Tim in Plato's Caveman is a joy, it's a joy to behold. Plato's Caveman. I wonder what year Plato's Caveman would have been based around. If Plato was alive today, would he say 2013? And an internet bampot and a tinfoil covered Skoda? Yeah, possibly. Possibly not. But I would like to think of myself as a little Plato caveman boy. In fact, I've always thought of myself as a little Plato caveman. What was that little guy with the wee swinging the axe? Captain Caveman, he was my favourite. Yeah, and then I heard about Plato. I thought, I've been to his planet before. One time when I took a few Eckies and a few LSD microdots. I've been to planet Pluto before. You know, Pluto, Plato, all these crackpot philosophers are all the same. So, Pluto, Plato. My level of knowledge reached a plateau when I was knee-high to a grasshopper, and they presented with me a school system that was fundamentally corrupt and fecked. And I did what Martin Luther King did, which was to creatively maladjust and to be creatively maladjusted. And that was my whole point in school, when they turned round to me and said, accept this way of learning. And I said, not in your life will I accept this way of learning. Why should I if it's wrong? And so I attempted to what's this? Norton, don't start. When I creatively maladjusted from the corrupt system that wanted me to accept their status quo. So I dogged it. That was my creative maladjustments. From them telling me I was a hopeless dafty, that head was full of wee motors and I would be a failure. Yeah, they tell people they're going to be a failure at too young an age these days. Do this exam. Oh, you failed it. Right, out you go. All those teachers, it made sense when I was given a paper by Martin Luther King on creative maladjustment, when he said, I never intended to be adjusted, to a racist society, and I never intended to become adjusted to a sick society. So if that makes me crazy or a crackpot or a crank, then that is an honour and a badge of distinction I wear with pride. Because I don't want to be anything other than seen as anything other than crazy and a sick, oppressive, racist, bigoted system. I don't want any medals, any gratitude. I don't want your filthy 30 shekels of silver. I'll just take my own wee small bit to feed myself and my family, and you can ram it right up your bakey for the rest of it. And I'll see you in your day of judgment, all yous Rothschild banking cabalists who are out to kill the planet. That's the bottom line. Seek the truth, reject falsehood. I've done another 50-minute show, and I'm out here. Yes, tell 10 to tell 10. Tell banking, sack the board of the SFA, sack the board. Sack the board of every sick, sad institution in the country. Sack the CIA because they killed John F. Kennedy. Sack MI6 and the British royal family for they killed Princess Diana because she just wanted to change the landmines that were killing innocent people. Standing up for people who were suffering from AIDS in parts of Africa. Yeah, she was a good woman to a certain degree with major faults obviously, but then like us all, we've all. So this is Plato's, caveman's, crackpot McDougall's analogy over and out here. I've done my bit, and it just remains to say to all the brain dead zombies, you were always on my mind, you're always on my mind. I'm obsessed with bringing justice and try to make sure that you face some sort of proper justice in this country. A justice that the leaders, that the less than 1% are failing to deliver, and we all know why. So that's me, over and out. God bless. Join the revolution. It's here, it's happening. Start your own radio shows. Tell 10 to tell 10. The crackpots are taking over the lion's den. Bye bye. Speak to you soon.